From time to time, the nice guys at Delhi Daredevils completely overhaul their side and think this is going to be the year, and it isn't. Could it be this year? I actually think it can, because they've picked a really good side. They've given themselves lots of options in every area of the game. More than anything else, they've given themselves a really tough, strong captain who knows the IPL like the back of his hand, who's come back to Delhi and who's got a point to prove. Gautam Gambhir, I'm sure, would have wanted to continue being captain of the Kolkata Knight Riders, but now he wants to say, look, Delhi Daredevils, I'll take you where I took KKR as well. And I think they've got an outstanding coach in Ricky Ponting. It'll surprise me enormously if Ponting is not Australia's next limited overs coach, because they rate him very highly. In his stint at Mumbai Indians, they loved him. The only question is, these are two strong personalities, and how do they gel? That is going to be the key for Delhi Daredevils. They've also given themselves lots of pace bowling. And I really hope that the track in Delhi is not one of those sluggish, slow, go-to-sleep pitches. They've got a ball that really takes off after pitching. They could actually go into a game with Trent Boult, Kagiso Rabada, Chris Morris and Mohammad Shami. Now, can you imagine what it would be on a good track, on an Eden Gardens kind of track, to be playing those four coming at you? Maybe not in every game, but they have that option. They've also backed that up with a lot of Indian spin bowling options. They've got Amit Mishra, who's actually one of the IPL legends, and they've got Shahbaz Nadeem, who year upon year has good Ranji Trophy seasons. They've got Rahul Tewatia, they've got Jayant Yadav, and someone that is slowly making a name in the world of cricket, much like Rashid Khan did a couple of years ago, and that's young Sandeep Lamichhani from Nepal. So they've given themselves all those options. So let's see how they line up then. This would be my Delhi Daredevils team, assuming everybody is available. You start with Gautam Gambhir and someone who's scary when he gets going. That's Colin Munro. I've actually picked him ahead of Jason Roy, but even there's an option. If Munro's not going, you can replace him with another firebrand opener in Jason Roy. So Gautam Gambhir will get the time that I hope Munro will give him to build his innings, but Munro is really a player to watch out for. Then two Indian players, both of whom can really get going. I think Rishabh Pant will bat at 3, and I hope he leaves behind his troubles as an India player and just comes and expresses himself. I have no idea why they made him captain of Delhi, but here at Delhi Daredevils, just a junior player, keeper, licensed to go and bat, and then Shreyas Iyer at number 4 can play two roles. He can either keep going or he can hold it, maybe play a 120, 125 strike rate for a while, because he's got Rishabh Pant on one side, he's got Glenn Maxwell on the other, and wow, if you got something like that, that's brilliant. And then they've got Vijay Shankar. India tried to use Vijay Shankar as a seam bowling all-rounder, which he isn't. Vijay Shankar is a batsman who'll contribute a little bit with the ball, and so I think Vijay Shankar at number 6 contributes a very dynamic, creates a very dynamic top 6, and then you've got a finisher like Chris Morris to follow. So I think this top 7 is as good as any. Then they can choose between Trent Boult and Kagiso Rabada. Who would want to be a selector when that happens? So in my first 11, I've actually gone with Trent Boult because he gives a left-handed option, swings the ball in, but I won't be surprised if they use the option at some point of playing both of them. Then they've got Mohammad Shami and the two spinners in Amit Mishra and Shahbaz Nadeem. So you've got a very well-rounded 11. I realize that Maxwell is probably not going to be available for the early part of the season, maybe the first couple of games. So they can either replace him with Dan Christian or say, look, we'll get a big hitting Indian off-break bowler like Gurkirat Maan in his place, and then maybe take out one of the spinners. Kotla's not the biggest pitch, and actually play Rabada as well. That's the option I meant when I said they could play Rabada, Boult, Morris and Shami. They could actually do that till Glenn Maxwell comes and not lose a lot, because they still have Chris Morris at number 7. I think it's a really well-balanced lineup. Something happens to Rishabh Pant, they've got Naman Oja, they've given themselves all kinds of options. Sometimes too many options is not good, but they've got a very experienced coach and a very experienced captain who will know how to keep the mood up. I'm quite bullish on Delhi Daredevils this year. Right, player to watch out for. In T20 cricket, I really rate Glenn Maxwell. Remember that great season he had with Kings 11 Punjab. If Maxwell gives you 25-30 balls, he changes the game. So my key player for Delhi Daredevils is Glenn Maxwell, and I'm torn between two players my player to watch out for. One is Colin Munro, who's not really shown himself to the IPL yet, but I also think Rishabh Pant could be that player, so allow me to pick 2 for that slot.